does say Brute. It is the Spaceland Brute. I thought it looked like him a lot, and that's why I just wanted to straight up call it as I see it, you know. It's the Spaceland Brute. There's a Brute with his helmet shot off. Okay, those of you wondering. So yeah, that's what my multiplayer character looks like. Looks all badass and stuff. Now, we had a lot of very good World War II information. I'll have that linked down in the description box below. Be sure to check that out if you're interested in knowing a little bit more of the gameplay leaks, because we got some good stuff, and it's really nice to see a multiplayer rig that's kind of one of the first steps towards the headquarters that we got, where we're going to be able to marry multiplayer and zombies together, and sort of do quests and things like that, and of that nature, and everybody can share that experience, so we don't have this divide so much between multiplayer and zombies. It'll be sort of unified. So that's pretty much what's going on in week 4, alright? Other than that, I didn't see a roundup hack or anything like that. That hasn't dropped yet, but this is going to be one of my last videos for Infinite Warfare. Closing out the season. We've had a great time on the channel and a lot of success. You know, we're setting standards to new heights, and I love that. So let's talk. Where's the best place we should see we talk about this? We'll leave it on Mephistopheles while I talk. So this is my review of Infinite Warfare Zombies. I'm going to go ahead and mute my phone, so then that way we don't get any extra sounds in here. I think it's important to talk about innovation. Innovation is a very key factor, and something that we saw compared to Black Ops 3 that, you know, they innovated in their own way. In Black Ops 3 they did. But we saw a further advancement of that innovation in Infinite Warfare Zombies. So let me explain. You could earn things with keys. You could buy things with COD points. That option was always there. In Black Ops 3 we had a very similar feature with Liquid Divinium and COD points. So I'm glad that keys is more of a currency that we all... It's a shared currency. And that's the topic of what I want to talk about. It's a shared currency, and that was something we didn't see in Black Ops 3. So innovation-wise, it was great to see that, and I hope Sledgehammer will take a lesson from this, because they've even said they got all the stats from all the other games, and they know what they're looking at, and they know what they want to do with it. So with that information, I think shared currency is very important, at least for the overall lobby and menu screens, because we have in-game currency. We want to have a really good shared currency between multiplayer and zombies that we can use in headquarters in World War II zombies. That's where I think they're going to go with it, and that's where the innovation really kicks in, because we didn't have a shared currency at first. We had Liquid Divinium, and we had crypto keys, Black Ops 3. And so there was a difference there, and you had to grind in either one in order to get things that you wanted. So I think it's important to have a shared currency. Alright, enough of that. Enough of that. Weekly bounties. We did get to see bounties as a feature in Infinite Warfare Zombies. Let's just go ahead and check that out. As you can see, there's even a timer. It's 20 hours here. Maybe different for you now, but we have rewards, right? We got these awesome rewards. We got simple challenges. They're very simple. It's very simplistic, but it's there. You know, the fact that it's there is very important. And Black Ops 3 never took this step. They took daily challenges on. Those sucked. But it was a step in the right direction. This was absolutely innovation for zombies, and I just want to praise Infinity Ward on that. Zombie backpacks. Man, how awesome were zombie backpacks this year? In every single DLC we had cash drops, different types of grenades that we could pick up, and that would change it in our inventory slots. Awesome. And what were other things that we could pick up from zombie backpacks? Their continued effort on level design. Somebody wanted me to bring this up, and that was the drop downs that occur, and that's on the level itself. When you're getting trapped, there tends to be a higher part of the level and a lower part of the level, and you would be able to drop down from that and continue on. And just the amount of drop downs that they had was very important, and I think that was innovative in itself as well, because the whole level's taken into consideration as to where you might be training in different situations you'd be in, and that's important. That's important. The Afterlife Arcade, my God, you could earn a life back. How awesome is that? I mean, we've not had anything like that. You die out, and you either come back right away, and you have to go get quick revive, or you have to wait an entire round. Like, that's one thing that I will commend Infinity Ward on for sure, is not having to wait around to spawn in, especially when you invite somebody. The invitation system was even improved in Infinite Warfare compared to Black Ops 3. I get a drink of water here. But the Afterlife arcade in itself, earning your life back, is something we haven't seen before and very innovative, which also brought in the Lost and Found. Lost and Found's amazing. I think the way you can buy your weapons back now, the price is of course debatable, considering if you're solo and you don't have a lot of money left, you have to still rebuy your perks. Then you have to get Lost and Found, which is $2,000. It's a little unfair, in my opinion, but the fact that it's there is all I care to mention. You get an extra mag, a half a mag in your MR6, so now you have full ammo instead of half ammo when you start, as well as the RK5. So that was one of the best benefits of Black Ops 3. But that's relatable only to Director's Cut, which is the very first part of our super Easter egg that we experienced. Then we had to go back through and collect talismans again, and then we got to go into Mephistopheles, ultimately, the super Easter egg boss. That's relatable to Director's Cut. It really is. And the RK5 Easter egg. And I think that was something to commend Infinity Ward on. Huge above and beyond. More than they had to go. And they went and crushed it. Absolutely. Magic Wheel, which I want to talk about. I have 3 awesome changes with the Magic Wheel, which is relatable to the Mystery Box. Magic Wheel, the expire roll change speed has increased. So when you'd see the little teddy bear spin off into the sky, Samantha would laugh. On the Magic Wheel we have the astronaut man. He takes off up. But it's next to instant. You almost know exactly where it's going. And you can go check it out. Alright, can't look in the sky. That's the one thing that I always wanted. Well, you can on some maps, but on Beast and Beyond you definitely can't. And I don't know why. Can't explain it. I don't know why on Beast from Beyond the light doesn't show, and that really bothers me. I wish that was fixed, because I do go outside a lot and check it out. I'm like, oh, I could tell, but you can't on Beast from Beyond. The other thing with the Magic Wheel is the single pap by default for Director's Cut players. So you join a lobby with a Director's Cut player, you haven't beat any Easter eggs, say you only got Spaceland, searching in a lobby with a Director's Cut player, just shows up, bam, he might be Willard Wyler, he might just be another character. You go into a lobby with these guys, and you're going to notice some immediate changes. And these changes are amazing. I mean, you're going to start out not with more money. You're definitely not going to have more money if you don't have Director's Cut. That's just automatically, you have to be a Director's Cut player to have that 25K. But you are going to have the benefit of single pap in all of the Magic Wheel. Hey! We're able to get single pack punched weapons in the Magic Wheel, and everyone who is part of the lobby gets to experience that as well. So just by being in the presence of a Director's Cut player, your game has changed. You have single pack and punched weapons across the board in your Magic Wheel. And so that is something I want to commend Infinity Ward on too. I think that's amazing. I think it's amazing to give perks to players that have, grinded the game out. And that would be considered Director's Cut players. Absolutely. The other thing is DLC add-on weapons that we have for patches. We have updates and patches come in all the time. Let me just look through a few here and see if this is a great addition to the Magic Wheel. The DLC add-on to the VPR happened in January, February, March 28th of 2017. So crazy. We had all these DLC weapons that came in for free, and all Season Pass holders got the base variant. But before, it just went to Season Pass holders only. Originally, it was everybody across the board got these DLC weapons for free. And then, towards DLC 4, it became only Season Pass holders are getting the first variant only. And that's the improvement I saw, at least, happening in DLC 4, because I really want Season Pass holders to be rewarded. I think people who have actually purchased Season Pass are unique players, because these people have invested in your game, and they've invested fully. They should be getting max rewards. And through DLC updates, it's important to drop weapons, especially if they're free and you can earn them. Another option is earning them. Send down a quest that we can do. and that quest will unlock this weapon. Maybe it's a timed quest, and you can do these as specific events throughout the year. I think those would be amazing. When we talk about the magic wheel, we have to mention Pack-a-Punch. There's alien fuses in there by default, which means if you're a Director's Cut player, you walk up to the Pack-a-Punch machine and bam, right in there, you throw it down and you can double Pack-a-Punch for power-ups. Let's talk about power-ups. The special ones that you could get this year were infinite ammo and the one-tier weapon upgrade, which is something unique we haven't quite seen. You know, and that comes every so often. If you're on Shell and Shuffle, you're pretty much going to see it every other game. At least that's how it's been rolling for me. I've been grinding those keys out, as you guys know. Let me check what I'm at right now for keys. Let me know what you guys are at for keys down in the comment section below. But I'm at 1,287 keys right now at the start of week 4. I didn't have to buy anything. That Brutus Merc rig was for free. Brute, Spaceland Brute, and for free. And now I get to save all these keys. And my goal was 1K. That's what I wanted for when World War II Zombie starts. Anytime there's something that goes on, I'll be saving those keys. I'm gonna come back and buy those crates. You know. There was an improvement to the banking system. The banking system is very important to bring up. You could deposit money per player. Every player could do that. And there was a 50K nerf that occurred. You know that you can only deposit 50K in the bank now. Before, if you guys remember, you could. When Spaceland was only available at the time, moving into Raven the Redwoods, you could deposit 100K per player at launch. And that was eventually nerfed to 50K. People were taking advantage of that too much, and it was also becoming very publicly known on the internet, and the developers saw it. So it was nerfed down to 50K, but not at launch. It was 100K at first that you could put in the banking system. So I just wanted to note that as we finish out this video. We still got a lot to talk about, but I just wanted to make sure that was noted for sure. Let's talk about inviting players for just a second. We did mention this earlier, but joining prompts a spawn-in. I think that's a huge innovation compared to what we know in Black Ops 3, where you had to wait to the next round. That got annoying, right? I believe it got quite annoying. What I wanted was something a lot faster. What was the solution? Apparently Infinity Ward decided we're just going to spawn them right in, right after they accept the invite. It goes to black screen, we hear a big swoosh, and bam, we're in. I think that's a huge innovation. I want to talk about things that happened on the map. I think portable traps is definitely something we want to talk about. Everything that we've known in the past has been stationary. Now we take it with us and we can use it whenever we want and hold it. You know, the D-pad is great for that, and I think we're going to see an improvement moving into World War II Zombies for sure. We talked about the zombie backpacks earlier. We talked about things that could drop, Z-drops, right? In addition to Z-drops in Infinite Warfare Zombies, there's been double things that have been happening. There's been coins that have dropped that you can pick up, place in these machines, and this has been granting great craftables. Z items are allowing us to build craftables that we can bring around, and those craftables are portable traps. Other craftables that we know of are the zombie shields, but this is the same instance. It's been used for our D-pad, and a huge, huge improvement when it comes to portable traps, I feel, and I absolutely loved it. Let's talk about the secondary currency that's happening in map, and that is on Spaceland, where we have tickets, and you can earn and buy things, you know, from the stand itself, and that's awesome. I think a secondary currency in game is definitely something Sledgehammer should look at, or Infinity Ward should continue on, and don't do it for every map. I think what you did was right on Spaceland. It's kind of map specific, but if you can add a secondary currency, that's kind of cool. It is. Next thing we're going to talk about is the map-to-map Easter eggs. A lot of you guys know that the layout variations and changes were quite dramatic, going from Spaceland, Raven the Redwoods, Shaolin Shuffle, to Attack the Radioactive Thing, Beast from Beyond, bam, to Mephistopheles, and I mean, we just keep going. But IW experimented with all of these Easter eggs throughout the season pass. Through every single one, they were experimenting. They wanted to find out what you loved, what you hated. That's why for DLC 3 we didn't even see a trailer. My God, there were a lot of different things that they tried, and they just wanted to experiment and see, hey, was this good? Was this bad? So we know for the future, because ultimately Zombies was a success of Infinite Warfare. Multiplayer is just trash. But if we're going to talk about zombies, they can continue that. It was boots on the ground to begin with, so it's an entirely separate thing that they're just going to slap on to Infinity Ward's next project. And that's how it's going to work, I think. Let's talk about the perks for one last time, because the price was reduced big time. And one that you're not going to see a reduction on, unfortunately, is Speed Cola. And it's called Quickies in Infinite Warfare. Still going to be $3,000. But as for Mule Munchies, Mule Kick, you guys know, and that's always an expensive one in Black Ops 3. But this has been reduced to $2,000. And this was a massive improvement for a third weapon, and I think this is something we definitely should look at moving into the future. And I'm curious what it's going to be like in World War II Zombies. It's some sort of shock thing that occurs, and it's crazy how it actually works, but the perk system is very exciting moving in the future. I think the way they can improve Mule Kick 100%, no one else talks about this, but I will. I think Mule Kick sucks because you just hit Y or triangle and you just keep doing it, and that's going to mess you up, you know? But if you could click and hold Y to summon your third weapon, and pushing Y or triangle just merely switched your primary and secondary, that's the fix. That's the change. Pushing and hold Y or Y or triangle is the answer to summoning that third weapon for Mule Kick, and I just wish they would take that step. That's my improvement on the perk systems. Otherwise, everything was looking good. I liked the introduction of some new perks, and they hit the marker on that, I think. As for boss battles, this is one of the last things I want to talk about, but it's not the last thing. This is a new game mode for DLC 4. It was good, but it's something we've already been doing throughout the entire season pass, so it got old pretty quick. I think the best boss battles are Zombies in Spaceland, the Alien Grey, and the Super Easter Egg boss, Mephistopheles. Those two, I think, are the most competitive and give you the most bang for your buck, honestly, for talent. The rest of them, they're just boring. We've already done them, you know. And I know we've already done Spaceland, but that alien boss fight, that's why so many people spent so much time at launch. You see all your hours that you've racked up on your profiles, mostly from Spaceland. And there's a reason for that. For sure. For sure. I think Boss Battles was good, but it ain't Grief 2.0. Grief 2.0 is what we're all looking for, honestly. And, yeah, that wasn't it. When it comes to zombie crates, this is something I want to commend Infinity Ward on. They went above and beyond with this, because finally we have a system that we can work with. And we haven't had a real good system, at least for loot, yet. And with World War II Zombies, we already know loot's going to be awesome. But with Infinity Ward, they introduced zombie crates, where you have featured crates, which we're seeing now. We have supply drops, which we've been seeing in the past, but now we have zombie supply drops in the form of common zombie crates and rare zombie crates. 30 keys and 10 keys. This is really cool. Over in the armory, we have a prototype lab, Mark II collection, and survivalist collection. Okay? We'll talk about more of the Mark II stuff. I'm going to leave us here on the screen so I can remember to talk about this when we go over the controversial section. I'm not doing a pros and a cons list because we're doing the pros, but I'm going to label the cons as controversial because I believe there's room to be made for change. There's room, an error that occurred that can be reversed in the next game very easily, and this is the controversial section where improvements can happen. I'll talk about the improvements more so than just cons. So the loadout menu, something that changed that was really good is we had Fate and Fortune cards and weapons kits. And the system, with just it being called loadouts, moving into the next section, where you have your consumables, and then you have your weapons that you can alter. I think that was genius. Genius. Absolutely genius. We had a weapons kit in Black Ops 3, but it didn't really give us everything that we wanted when we're looking at it. You know, it wasn't ideal. You know, it was a step in the right direction, but it wasn't perfect. And Infinity Ward got the right mixture and the right amount of zest and sauce, and I think Sledgehammer should learn from this. And by the looks of the leaked gameplay that I've seen, looks like they have. When it comes to seasonal events, this is something that I know 100% the headquarters is going to be responsible for in World War II Zombies. Seasonal events that occurred here in Infinite Warfare Zombies, we had some good things happen. 12 Days of Winter was the first one we saw in December. And if you guys remember, that was when the introduction of the Mark II packs came in. There were 600 supply drops that dropped. I couldn't believe it. Everyone couldn't believe it. It was crazy. No one wanted to accept that this was the reality we lived in, but bam, it just occurred. And all of a sudden, everything that we've been working for just got doubled. And I don't even have patch notes on this at this moment, but I do have a very, very clear memory of what occurred. A lot of people wanted to just give up. We lost a lot of people at that point. We did. And we got a lot more back through the more trust that was made, the super Easter egg as it developed. We got a lot more people back, but the MK2 collection, for sure, threw a lot of people away. And I totally understand why. That's a lot of supply drops just to throw in and randomize even more of the selection that we could have gotten zombie crates. It bothered me. It did. Because your chances became very, very minimal at that point to get what you wanted. From the 12 Days of Winter, we also got a series of weapons, and that involved 12 different giveaways. And Infinity Ward just did this out of the goodness of their heart. Some days it was keys, some days it was salvage, some days it was the themed weapon for the holiday itself. So a lot of us did get a weapon, you know, and a lot of us did get keys some days just by logging in and accepting a reward. And that was awesome. That was the first iteration that we saw of the seasonal event, 12 Days of Winter. Moving from that, we really didn't get much until Days of Summer. Days of Summer was the next holiday that I want to talk about. And what's great about this one is things changed a little bit. They did. We had more of an experience with the actual developer itself, more interaction on Twitter than we've ever seen before, and the rewards were a lot better. We got a quad feed at that point, and this is when we were starting to wonder, are we going to get quad feeds for every single type of event that's going to occur? And lo and behold, that's not true for every event, but it was for the seasonal events. Every time we got a quad feed, and that was interesting because that makes you feel more involved in the event than anything else, because while you're playing during the event and you're getting double of everything when it comes to experience, keys, there's nothing like being rewarded like that. So I think above and beyond, it's important to note that having double keys or a double feature across the board during these events makes people feel involved. And that's the feeling you want to capture, 100%. And then moving from Days of Summer, we had the Mac Daddy Halloween Scream, which we're here today closing it out. I know this is one of those longer videos, but we want to close it out with a bang, I think. And to talk about everything that was good is very important. Second day that this event occurred, we got a content schedule. This is unlike anything we've seen before. A lot of these content schedules tend to be pretty vague and don't give us all the details that we want. But for Halloween Scream, second day it started, yes, we had a content schedule, and it labeled everything, every little bit that we wanted across the board to get and see, and the resets that occurred. It was all there. It was all there, except for the times that occurred. And I've been recording those times as well. I recorded all the times for when everything went live throughout the Halloween events, and we'll be taking that knowledge and moving it forward to our first event in World War II Zombies, and kind of comparing the times there as well to see if there's a real difference. And that's something that you'll get uniquely on my channel because I do that research. But on top of everything else, we got double keys, which helps the grind seem worth it. And this goes along with the seasonal crew that I think every single developer needs to hire. There needs to be a separate crew for seasonal events, which improves the grind and rewards you along the way. And with those prestiges, as you prestige, you're being rewarded properly, and so that way the grind is worth it. And I would love timely quest to be thrown in where you could get a secret weapon that's really good, and if you weren't there, you don't get it. And I think that is something that can be cherished as well moving into the future. And Infinity War, that's something you might want to look at. I can't confirm if refilling your deck happens 3 times in a game or 6 times. I'm leaning towards 6 times, but let's just move forward with refilling our deck. No matter how many times you do it and use that Fate and Fortune card, let's say in the overall menu you had 19 of them. So you don't want to keep using them, right? You only want to use 1 per game because it's going to cost you 1 in the overall amount of time. Well, according to our most recent research, we found that you can use it over and over again in a game as many times as you want, or it allows you to. And it will only charge you one time. One time in the overall menu, so you can continue to keep doing that. And that's a feature that I think should be praised. And I think that's the intended way that's happening in World War II. These consumables that we've been hearing about, based on the rarity, is how many times you can use it in a game. So if it's an epic, you can use it 4 times. Legendary, 3 times. Common or rare, whatever, you can use it a 3rd and a 2nd time. But I think that's really cool. I think that's a lesson that they learned from this experience that we just got done talking about. And I'm grateful for that. Keep going with this way. We're going to move into the controversial section now. This is a section what you can consider cons, but I'm also going to consider improvements, because I need to talk about improvements as we move forward with this. Ghost and Skulls. Everybody knows about Ghost and Skulls. But what was the real downside to Ghost and Skulls? Let me ask you that. The real downside with Ghost and Skulls is that it takes you perkaholic. What are you beating the main Easter egg for if you can't get max perks? Originally that was the idea of the God tier reward. You would get perma perks or max perks, which eventually turned into perma perks. And that's something that Ghost and Skull has taken from us. It really has. Director's Cut rewards it in a way that we've never seen. But when you're on the base variant of the game, you don't have Director's Cut. What rules that is not the Easter eggs. What rules that is Ghost and Skulls and you completing that Easter egg. That's what matters for the perma perks. And I think that's wrong. That's why it's in the controversial section. Where I think this can improve is give it back to the main Easter egg. Ghost and Skulls, I think what you're good for is a side quest. This is a side mission. Maybe it's a timely quest that comes in and it's an exotic one or it's an epic one, and it gives you a good weapon. A good weapon that you can keep throughout the entirety of the season pass. And I think it's a one-time deal, or it's a deal that comes back once a month or something and can reward you, but it's a timely quest. And I think that's what Ghost and Skull needs to become, and stop taking away our perma perks. Next thing I want to talk about is leaderboards, because my god, leaderboards had quite a rough time starting out. Many of you guys know the first 3 months didn't have leaderboards, and it pissed everybody off. Zombies, yeah, we had a little bit of leaderboards, but it definitely came with an improvement. It did. 3 months later, once it dropped, everyone was a lot more grateful of this game, but so many people had left. Especially when 600 supply drops came in before leaderboards were actually introduced. This happened. And I was there for it, but man, that was tough to get through, Tough to be positive when that type of stuff's happening. Boss battles is another thing in the leaderboards. I mean, we have our own personal records, but where can I search up for the world? When I'm thinking about how do I look in boss battles at who's number 1, who's got the number 1 time in the world? Do I got to search YouTube? Why do I have to look so hard for these type of records? I think this should be built in. I think moving forward, these are things that shouldn't be forgotten. Now we're going to talk about our free consumables. I say consumables in the sense of fate and fortune cards. That's how we know them. We have fate cards, we have fortune cards. What's going wrong right here? What's going on, and what's happening with the fate cards? Mostly what I want to talk about. What's going on with the fate cards? Because I got a real issue with the less beneficial varieties that are in there. Right? That's the note that I made here. There are less beneficial varieties in the fate section than there were in the Gobblegum section of the classic Gobblegums versus our Mega Gobblegums. Classic Gobblegums actually gave you more of a variety that helped and benefited the player in every game than our fate cards did in Infinite Warfare. We took a step backwards. And that's why I had this under controversials, because we actually went backwards and we don't have near as many effects that helps the player overall. And I'm talking good players. If you're going to become a standard good player, you're going to want those basic ones to be there that you can use. And we should have 2 every time that can fill up our slot. Every single time. As far as I'm concerned, the only one I keep is Nade Party. Nade Party's the best one. The only other one is Scope Dollars, which is on Raven the Redwoods. Those 2 are the best 2 that are straight up fate cards that you can use and apply to mostly every game if you're going high rounds or if you're going through the Easter egg. But I think there should be ones in there that are standards. Hashtag standards straight up. We took a step backwards in Infinite Warfare. That's why I have free consumables under the controversial section. We talked about mule munchies. Let's talk about the end game reward. And I'm talking about after you've beaten the Easter eggs and you've now able to collect a reward in game. Is this going to continue on into the future? Or is this reward something tangible that we can hold? Or do we have to earn it every single time? When I start another game of Raven the Redwoods, do I have to play the Easter egg every single time to get that smiley chainsaw? This is what I'm talking about. You do. This is why I'm saying that Infinity Ward has been experimenting with every single map along this season pass. Raven the Redwoods, yes. We have to beat the Easter egg every time. We get the smiley chainsaw after that. We can pick it up and bam, use it. You know, it did get nerfed. It does suck now. But if we move to Shaolin Shuffle, we beat the Easter egg. We are now rewarded with the katana. This is a post-Easter egg reward. This is something that we have only seen in Raven the Redwoods. Now that we're in Shaolin Shuffle, we get to keep it. Every single game that we start, we automatically have that katana right there in the dojo. We can go in there, pick it up, bam. So that after Easter egg reward was saved. In Raven the Redwoods, it wasn't saved. In Shaolin Shuffle, we have the nunchucks too, and you have to do a little Easter egg in order to unlock that permanently. You'll have it after every game, and that's something very unique to the map itself. And that's what I'm just saying. There's experiments happening left and right. Infinity Ward's just trying to find the right solution. So that's something I wanted to just note in the controversial section because of the alternate changes that were occurring. The answer is the katana and Shaolin Shuffle. The wall buy that we were rewarded post Easter egg, that's what everybody wants. And that is definitively what I'm going to support moving forward. I think having a post Easter egg reward is very important, and one that you can keep if you beat it. The Super Easter egg should give us something else, another feature on top of that already happening. This is extending the grind. This is making it worth it, and that's what I support. Update 1.03 for World War II? What? That just happened. I don't know what those guys are doing over there. They're just unlocking everything for those early guys, aren't they? Comparing these to other zombies, I think these are most comparable to the EMZ zombies in Advanced Warfare. I say that because it would take out your exo shield, and all of a sudden, bam, you're just falling into a group of zombies. The most annoying zombie in all of the season pass were the EMZ zombies in Infinite Warfare, electromagnetic pulse zombies. But moving into Infinite Warfare zombies, we have these ninja zombies that vanish and then keep vanishing based on how you're looking and turning and looking, and they'll come in front of you and cause more and more damage because they always get a kick in. And that's kind of the same type of effect we had with those EMZ zombies. So that's under controversial because it seems like every game's got a terrible zombie that we got to just deal with. But that was the one in Infinite Warfare zombies, and I just wanted to point it out. Lastly, we have storyline. My God, and that was very lackluster in my opinion. The storyline itself wasn't very deep. It was very surfaced and very predictable at certain points, except for DLC 4. I would say DLC 4 was not very predictable with the Extinction crossover happening, which wasn't done that well in my opinion, unless we haven't solved it. You know, unless we haven't fully solved it yet, I don't think it was done that well in my opinion. However, when it comes to what Willard Wyler's doing and his storyline with Mephistopheles, that was done well. But I didn't really see the whole Extinction crossover that well. It didn't occur that, wasn't that significant in my opinion compared to what the Willard Wyler storyline was and what was happening there. It seemed like what happened with Samantha Cross was very vague and in the distance and blurry. I didn't really understand it that well. But I understood the bigger picture with the cutscenes that were occurring and how it all formulated to the very final moment where we play Willard Wyler on Spaceland and he's back there with our characters again and we're ready for the next journey, ultimately. And that's where I'm going to end this video pretty much for the most part because those are my lasting thoughts on Infinite Warfare and all of the Season Pass and kind of what we've gone through beginning to end. So I hope you guys can take something from this. if you got anything you want to add to the conversation, just drop it down in the comment section below. Hit me up on Twitter @GrizzViolent. Best place to keep talking zombies. But it was a good season pass. Very innovative overall, and I'm very impressed with the direction they're taking with zombies. I think we need to continue to improve as we move forward, and that's what I do in my patch notes. I talk about it and report it to you guys. We bounce our ideas off each other. We just talk about it. So that's what's going to happen in World War II Zombies. And as for Infinite Warfare, I've had a blast, unlocked a lot of loot, and I got a lot of keys saved up throughout the entirety of the next year that Infinity Ward plans to support this game. So as we get new DLC patches and add-ons, I plan on covering that when and where it's necessary for the real. But I got the keys to make it happen, Captain. So I will see you guys in the next video. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. I went out.